Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing watching the Spy Psychology series by John Tale 2. So far the series has been awesome, man. It's got some really funny parts in it, as well as just really informative and helpful for a player like me that is still new to the game. And there's some things about Spy I did not even think about that I, have to worry about, or some of the basic things I was even like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So far the series has just been so awesome, man. I really appreciate everybody recommended I should watch this. Before I play Spy. I completely understand, man. It has been fantastic. So thank you so much. Everybody's been liking and commenting on these videos. I really appreciate it. And with that being said, if you're new, do not forget to hit that sub button. Please and thank you. And if you want to, you're more than welcome to come hang out with me on Twitch. I'll be sure to put my link in the description down below if you want to go hang out with me over there. And with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay. Dude, these intros, I say this on almost every video because it's so true, dude. Every single intro just gets better and better. It's like a TV show that's just kind of evolving, and it's just awesome to see what the next one's going to be. Nice. Oh man, yeah, the intros are just so awesome, dude.
So, what would Spy be without his knife? Well, you'd have my running joke that I'm saving for later in the video. But my point is that the knife is a key tool in the Spy's arsenal. What it enables is his ability to insta-kill. But of course, there's multiple different knives you can use, but to understand the unlockable ones, we first need to understand their base form.
Alright, the stock.
Stock is the knife you'll start out with. And like many stock weapons in TF2, it's very good. When people keep asking me what the best knife is in all situations, the answer is always stock.
You know, and that's not just for this. It's kind of with like most of the classes. When I first started watching some of this stuff, not too long ago, you guys kept telling me the stock weapons were the best, and I was like, why would you be able to buy extra weapons if the ones that they already give you were some of the best ones? But it's literally like the case most of the time. It seems like the stock weapons are the best. The extra ones are just a little bit of extra stuff if people want to mess around with different play styles. But it does seem like, for the most part, at least from what I've seen, the stock happens to be like the best in every class, or at least the best, all around, I should say. And I could be completely wrong about that, but it just seems like in most cases, the stock weapons tend to be the best.
It gets the job done without any gimmicks. The base damage of the knife is 40, however when hitting a backstab, the target dies instantly, regardless of their current health and overheal. The only things that can block a backstab are the Razorback and an Uber charge. But what counts as a backstab? Well, it's the entire back half of the enemy. But do not be deceived! The back half is based off the view of the player, not their model, as some animations will slant the back in certain ways that can be confusing. Whenever you end up in backstab range, you will see an animation of the knife raising. However, you shouldn't wait for this before attempting the stab. As you get more experienced with Spy, you'll get a better feeling of when you can land a stab. You should develop this muscle memory as soon as possible, and only use the animation to show you when you missed a stab opportunity.
Oh.
Of course, occasionally the hit detection can be a bit funny and not grant you backstabs which should have landed. What? This is the reality of playing Spy.
That's scream. Big earner. All right, on to the next one. The first one was good. And like I said, most of the time I've been told that stock is pretty much the best one to go with. If I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments down below, like what classes seem to have like maybe not as good as stock weapons. But for the most part, when I ask people like what should I use, people usually just tell me stock.
Lowers the user's max health to 100, but on kill it restores 30% of your cloak, as well as a 3-second speed boost. Mechanically, the easiest of the non-stock knives to understand, though all its uses aren't immediately obvious. While that cloak regain doesn't come into play nearly as much, the speed boost is the main draw of this knife. Whenever you get a backstab, regardless of the knife you're using, you generally need to decide between going further in for more kills, or getting out. Because of the speed boost, both of these options become much easier to execute after a kill. You're either zipping between unaware targets, or getting in and
Dude, the editing just keeps getting better and better. The random running was
getting out
hilarious.
towards the nearest garlic bread.
Oh.
Chain stabs become much easier with this knife, as most players don't expect the spy to be that fast. But again,
I don't know what it is, man. So far, all of Johnny Hill's series videos have just been so funny, man. There's been these random parts that just get to me.
it's a matter of choosing whether to stab everyone or choose the foe.
Like in the last one, there was one where Heavy made this super weird noise real quick, and I literally thought that I was that I was gonna have some troubles for a second. I was like, am I gonna pass out from laughter? Because this is hilarious.
But now we need to talk about that downside. Sure, losing 20% of your total health may not sound like much, but there's a reason light classes have 125 health and not 100, as it allows them to barely survive a powerful hit from most weapons. When you take that health away, suddenly you're able to be one-shot by a lot of things. Essentially what this boils down to is that you need to avoid detection and crossfire before landing a backstab, as there is notably much—
You know, earlier, I just noticed earlier he pulled out one, I think was called the snack attack. I could be wrong about that. It kind of looked like the bread monster thing. Let me know, like, if that one's any decent or not, because every time I see that one, it catches my eye.
much less room for error when doing so. To summarize, it's weaker before you land a backstab, but stronger once you do.
Oh, man. And obviously the snack attack obviously isn't a knife, but I definitely have seen this one, the icicle one.
Too much. However, do not be mistaken, it does not guarantee your survival, it only aids it. If hit by fire well held, you gain 1 second of fire immunity and 10 seconds of afterburn immunity.
Oh.
But this melts the knife in the process. Backstabs also turn victims to ice with
You
the
know
distance.
what? That makes complete sense, so that it would melt. I mean, that just makes sense.
Sound. So again, that melting. It only activates if hit by fire while the knife is held, and when the knife melts, it becomes completely unusable.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that. I think that's called the snack attack. I could be wrong. But I've seen that, I think, in the last video or the video before, and it just looks cool, man. That just looks cool.
Putting it on a 15-second cooldown that can be sped up by ammo packs. If only there was a way to deal damage without the knife. Oh yeah, Spy has a gun! This is probably a good time to
I don't know why that is so funny, but it is. He said it on like every video. Even in the last one, I thought he wasn't going to say it, and then he did, and I was like, ah!
mention that you can shoot people with your gun, and said gun has decent range. The knife isn't your only weapon, especially when people are looking at you.
When they're... Oh.
Anyway, where? So that 1 second of fire immunity may not seem like much, but things can happen very fast in TF2. And that 1 second may be enough for you to escape the range of the pyro.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I have noticed this. Like I said, I'm still a new player. I haven't put in near as many hours as other people in the game. But I have noticed, like, even 1 or 2 HP can make a huge difference. Because there's been a few times where I only have 1 or 2 HP. And I've just recently, like, picked up, like, a health pack on the ground. And I'm just like, dude, if I wouldn't have picked that up, I'd be gone right now. So it is crazy that, like, that tiny, tiny little amount that you wouldn't think really matters that much, it does kind of matter, in my opinion. At least from the personal experience recently of playing it.
With your slightly superior speed. Plus, the afterburn immunity persists for a good amount of time. The biggest issue here, though, is that pyros can set off the Spy-cicle on purpose just to prevent you from getting a backstab. So while they have a harder time killing you, they have a much easier time preventing murder. That isn't done by them, at least. Also, that eye statue.
Oh, man.
It may not seem like much, but that distinct sound alerts players to your location. And the eye statues tell players that there is a spy nearby. And it really, really does not help with their paranoia. But speaking of the knife that excels in preventing paranoia...
Okay, I have seen this one multiple times, not only from people playing, but some of these, like, past spy videos and other videos. I've seen this one quite a bit. I feel like this might be one of, like, the most used ones, and I could be wrong about that, but it just seems like this is the one I've heard the most about besides stock.
Stealth knife. but also the complex one. Upon landing a backstab, you instantly disguise as your victim, as well as the kill being completely silent, at the cost of plus 33% cloak drain rate, and the disguise kit needing and consuming a...
Wait, you instantly disguise when you backstab somebody with this? I don't know if I knew that. I'm sitting there like, I don't think I was told that. That actually is really cool, and I kind of understand why everybody would be using this now.
full cloak meter on use. The basic rundown of this knife is that it highly rewards more careful spy players, as if used right, this knife can hide the fact that you're even present from non-victims, while your actual victims will become paranoid out of their minds. Let's break down the on-kill effects. 1. You will instantly take the disguise of your victim with none of the particle effects. 2. The victim will not scream, making the backstab near impossible to hear. 3. No notice will appear on the kill feed for the enemy team. 4. The corpse will very quickly disappear. And 5. If a medic is healing your victim, the beam will instantly transfer to you.
So even if a medic is like healing you and you use this, it just puts it onto you, or not healing you, but healing the person you're about to take out, and then it just swaps it over to you immediately. I don't really see why you wouldn't use this gun, if I'm being honest. I mean, this knife, I don't see why. Like, this is pretty great. You instantly become your enemy. You're getting healed immediately. There's no screams. There's no like particle thing. The bodies quickly vanish when they go down. That's just insane. I'm just gonna say, I see why I've seen this one not only a few times in person, but I've seen this, you know, in past videos before, and I completely understand why now.
This entire process is so fast that you retain your cover in between backstabs, to the point even sentry guns will fail to detect a backstab with this knife, making it safe to backstab an engineer that isn't next to a sentry.
It's almost making me wonder if I should even try stock. When I played for the first time as Spy, should I just go straight on to this one? I mean, it's looking like it's a pretty good option here.
However, the other powerful trait of the instant disguise is that once you get a kill, you'll most often be in a realistic position for that class to be in. People also don't expect players that they just cleared to suddenly get replaced by a spy. In this clip,
True.
I stabbed a sniper this demo cleared, so he thinks I'm a non-sniper, and then this scout appears in front of me. We can assume the scout double jumped before entering our view, and that the demo saw it, so he knows that the scout cannot be a spy. However, since the scout is also fooled, I get a backstab on him. I round this corner.
Oh, and now he
the
thinks
demo's
he's a
view, but now I'm disguised as scout. The disguise
Dude.
is famously known for being the easiest to detect due to the incorrect speed. But
First of all, wow, what a costume there, or what a hat. The whole outfit. But man, yeah, I'm just, after watching this series, it just seems to me like this might be the hardest class to play, man. I'm not sure. I still got to play engineer as well. Spy and engineer are the only two I haven't played just yet. But engineer, I'm a little more like, you know, it's the last one I'm going to play more than likely, because it looks like a lot of like, you know, a lot of responsibility of getting the teleporters up and having the sentries down and stuff. So that one, I'm excited to play it, but I'm a little nervous because that just seems like a lot of stuff to do for one class. But this one I thought was going to be kind of, you know, I wouldn't say one of the easier ones, but I just didn't think it was going to be this difficult. I thought you would just turn invisible, run around, get some people, and it's over. And it turns out that's just like so much more to that. You got to think about like disguising and cloaking and pretending to be the enemy, and like all these things that I've learned from this series in the last 5 or 6 videos that we've been reacting to this. Man, props, hats off to you there, Johnny Hill, too, because I've learned so much from this so far, and I hadn't even played the class yet. So I've really enjoyed this so far. This series has been great.
He doesn't realize this isn't the same player he just saw 2 seconds ago. He doesn't even pay attention and proceeds to walk right into a backstab.
Identity theft is not a joke.
I'll make it into one! There's so many weird psychological effects that this knife has. Like when someone calls out a spy after a backstab, people don't expect to see a disguised spy. And because people are so used to hearing backstabs, they just don't turn around after a backstab like they normally do. They often won't even know you exist unless they're dying to you.
Oh,
Basically,
dude.
This is an overcomplicated way of me telling you that this knife excels in maintaining your cover. But we've barely touched on the downsides. the increased cloak drain requires more effective cloak management on your part, meaning this knife isn't super beginner friendly.
Oh, I
However,
see, I see. So the downside is that you uncloak a lot faster. So this is okay. Maybe this is definitely for like people that not only know the map a little bit more, but if you don't have as much of a cloak, you kind of got to be more precise on who to take out and when and how, I guess. So maybe I don't need to start with this one after just hearing that.
Can be negated by equipping the L'Étranger.
The what? The Lestrand? Okay, I need this. I need this.
The disguise kit also requires and consumes an entire cloak meter upon use, meaning if you disguise manually, you'll need to pick carefully.
Oh.
You can't change that decision right away.
Oh.
However, this also has a workaround.
Okay.
As doing this while standing in spawn won't consume the cloak meter. This by no means nullifies it, but saves time if you know. That being said, what this means is that you have to have a much more considerate playstyle. You need to be more careful with your cloak, and use the disguise kit for purpose. But, if you are careful, it will keep you hidden.
Okay, I've seen this one.
This knife essentially amplifies the traits of the Big Earner. You have even...
As far as the way it looks, this might have been the one that I would have tried to play with. Just because that just looks so cool, man. That looks so cool.
Less health, but more survivability after a backstab. Upon backstab, you absorb the health of your victim, with the excess health being turned into overheal.
Oh.
But your maximum health is reduced by 55.
Oh, that's not 55, dude.
Mathematically astute among you, you may have figured out that your maximum health is now only 70.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that is so low. Like, that is really low.
You have lost 44% of your maximum health by simply equipping this thing. Someone breathes on you wrong and you die instantly. You have to be very careful before hitting that first.
I was gonna say, I feel like this one would be for like expert players because you're almost taking like half of your health just to take this thing around. So I feel like this is definitely for like more expert players.
But once you backstab someone, you steal their health. This is based off the health of your victim. But no matter what, you gain a minimum of 75 health.
Oh.
And you can have a maximum of 210.
Oh.
However, most of this health will be turned into overheal, meaning it cannot be recovered by health packs.
Oh.
It decays.
That's exactly what I was wondering. I was like, well, maybe if you're getting like extra health now, maybe it is worth using, but I guess when that goes away, you can't get it back unless you continue on.
However, the decay rate of this overheal is affected by math. This is interesting, trust me. So
Okay,
overheal decay is
I'm
based on the
listening.
maximum health of the user. Normally, overheal maxes out at half of the user's base health, making it decay fully after 15 seconds on all classes. However, the maximum overheal from the Kunai has the reverse proportion.
Oh.
Instead, the maximum health is half of the maximum overheal.
Oh.
The result is that the overheal takes 4 times as long to decay, equal to approximately 2.33 health a second. Considering 10 seconds of afterburn immunity is a long time, that's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, that's not
However,
bad.
this assumes you aren't taking damage, which can very quickly eat through this health.
Dude.
However, there is one thing that can very quickly deal with this problem.
Oh.
Another backstab.
Another bang.
The health gain is instant, and clears all debuffs like bleeds and afterburn. So being able to backstab becomes your lifeline. Or, at least that group of heavies without headphones. The problem arises if you're struggling to actually get that backstab. This can keep you alive through a chain stab, or enable more secure escapes.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're in like more of a crowd, if there's like more than a couple of people around you, and you just start, you know, really getting behind them there and being able to pull off the taking them out, I could see where this would be really nice because you could just keep getting health over and over and over. But the minute they start shooting near you, I feel like it's over. I feel like it wouldn't take much to take you down.
Just like the Big Earner, however, both the risk and reward are greater. If getting that first backstab is becoming a struggle, you're better off swapping to the Big Earner or stock.
Oh, nice.
The Big Earner leaves you open to one-shots, but empowers your ability to escape or get chain stabs. The Kunai amplifies the strengths and weaknesses of the Big Earner, and is a big risk to use. The Spy-cicle helps you survive pyros, but allows pyros to melt your knife and makes players more aware of your presence. The Your Eternal Reward excels at maintaining your cover, but only if you play thoughtfully and smart. And stock is the best all-round knife for all situations. You may take your pick, but they all...
I do like it. Like, it just seems like they did really well with the stock weapons, at least from what I've seen. And then if you want some different play styles, some different types of things to do, more ways of like maneuvering around the map, or, you know, trying to figure out when you should cloak or not cloak. Looks like they have different options here, and that's just so cool that they provided you with like different types of way to play the character, instead of just like the same, like, here you go, everybody plays it the same. It's really
share
cool,
one
man.
common ability. The ability to stab.
Oh, here we go, the clips. Well, they started figuring it out right there. Oh, man. Oh, dude, so good, man. So good. Another great episode, or another, another great part in the Spy Psychology series called The Best Knife. That was awesome, man. Exactly what I thought it was going to be, just trying to show us which is the best weapon to use for Spy, and I love that there's a few different ones with different play styles. I still think when I start out, I'm probably just going to use the stock. It seems like the stock is the best one to start out for everything, but I kind of think the internal reward, or your eternal reward, I don't know, man. I think that one might be one of the coolest, just because, like, yeah, it sucks that you gotta deal with the decloaking, and like, you know, it's not going to do as much, but it's so awesome, of just being able to instantly turn into the victim, and the medic instantly starting to heal you. I think it's just, man, it's almost like tricky. It's like so tricky of the game. You're just like, whoa, man, the game went hard when it decided, hey, let's make sure they really don't know if this is a spy or not. I love it, man. I loved it. So if you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to hit the like, man. It really helps out the channel. Not only does it let me know if you guys want to see me continue to react to things like this, because I've also been doing some other reactions here and there, but a lot of TF2 because I've been really enjoying it. But it also helps new people to see the video, and for them to, you know, get to enjoy the reactions as well. And I just really appreciate everybody's been liking these previous videos and helping everybody see them, man. You guys are awesome. So, yeah, if there's anything else you want to see me react to, you are more than welcome to put it in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to put it on the list to make. And that's all I got for you, man. So I will see you in the next video. But do not forget, it's Work Army for life.